I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about how companies can be better about managing the expectations placed upon their teams and help avoid burning out their employees, because it's real. I mean, I don't work for a general contractor anymore for a good reason. I burned out, and I would love to find ways to avoid having other folks be in that same position, because it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, again, to make it really practical, you need to know your workforce.
Yeah.
You need to be getting an understanding of what's happening with your workforce. If you are doing project reviews on your construction projects, how is the performance month to month? You know, I always used to say, why is this project that's 2 or 3 miles up the road from the other project doing better? And I can tell you, it was about the people. Yeah. They were engaged. They were managing their health. We know that the construction industry the workers have poor health. So is it a fact of looking at how you can do that? And I think it comes from taking a longer term investment in saying, look, I know a project will last for 2, maybe 3 years, but let's take a 5-year view. What is the health of our workforce?
Yeah.
You know, do they have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, et cetera, et cetera? You know that at some point they're going to burn out because their bodies aren't as resilient as they were when they were 22 as opposed to, 45, 50. And that's the longer term view organizations have to take. But then also conversely saying to the employees and workers, hey, we're going to invest in you over this 5-year period, but we expect that you turn up and do X, Y, and Z as well so that you can meet us halfway. And I guess that's the relationship view we need to look at, because there's so much employers can do, but if people don't turn up, then that doesn't help them. But then understanding the workforce to say, hey, and also then articulating that to say, hey, we are going to invest in you now. You're critical to our operations, but you need to meet us halfway, and we need to take a step in the right direction is the only thing you can do, because otherwise it's all lip service and people just don't buy into it.
And I think right now, with the ongoing challenges with regards to, just retaining and acquiring talent, that 5-year focus that you're sharing instead of the 3-year project focus is a huge differentiator, because if you've shown your people that you care about them enough that you intend to retain them for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, however long they intend to stay in the industry, it's a very different conversation from the organization who, the moment the project ends, they lay off all of their staff until a new project spins up, and then they bring them all back. And I recognize that that's a challenge. There's a balance as far as how you manage your teams. You can't have, hundreds of folks on staff if you don't have new projects to put them on. That's not sustainable long term. But I have seen, even before the talent wars, for lack of a better framing, because the competition is so fierce, really started spinning up. Seeing the way folks felt when their project was coming to an end, and knowing that if there wasn't another one already on the back burner that was about to spin up, that they knew that in 2 months, 3 months, maybe 4 months, that they very well might be laid off. That impacts how well people work, that impacts people's health, both physical and mental. And it also impacts your business, because those people might also be more inclined to entertain offers from other companies who do have that 5-year vision, that 10-year vision, and intends to retain. And just the cost of training a new person, if you've lost somebody, is tremendous, not to mention if you can't fill the seat right away or find somebody. And so there's so many layered personal reasons why supporting your people matters, and then also very clear business reasons as well. It's all intertwined, and I think we can certainly do better than we have historically. I'd be curious, do you have any advice for past me who was burned out and not telling anybody about it, how that they can better manage those feelings and hopefully communicate them with their managers?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people who know me will always say health is your wealth. It's the only thing that you truly own, right? It's your own health. And I think you need to prioritize your own health, but also it's taking the own internal resilience to the next level by saying to your manager or someone, look, I need to take some time off because I'm feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
I haven't met anyone to date that's in perfect health that's burnt out. I've met people that have really put their health as a secondary to their life, and then lo and behold, 1, 2, 10 years later, they're burning out and they don't know why.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is it's because of the employer and that, but it might have actually been something that was building up for some time. And it was just a domino effect that happened, and it's sad that it happened at that point. But it also, what did it do? The positive is that it made you stop. So when your body's had enough, it just stops, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to recover. You've got nothing else that you do. You're in fight and flight. You've got to survive. So your body just shuts down and says, hey, I'm not having anything to do with this now. You need to recover. But that's also sad on your team. That's also sad on your manager, because other people take that quite personally and they think, well, why did that happen to Eric? Geez, I must be doing something wrong. But that could have been building up for the last 5 years before that, or 3 years before that. So for me, really, I've been there as well. I call it, vanity over insanity. I started losing my hair, and I started to ask the question, why am I losing my hair? It's because I was getting to the point where I was highly stressed for a long period of time, and I just took a step back. And I don't care about having not hair. I just wanted to make sure my health is right. But I was going to the gym highly stressed. I was stressing about my teams in the field. I was stressing about everything, and I thought, when I'm going on holiday, I'm stressing out. Like, you can't live like that. So it's a matter of understanding balance, so that when you have time off, you have time off, and you come back recharged to do the job.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that when they're at work, they're dreaming of having a vacation. When they're on the vacation, they're wishing and dreaming of work. And look, we're all a little bit to blame for that. But it's truly switching off. If you are on vacation, switch off. You need that time to recover, because your workplace needs you. You're a critical cog. So it's understanding yourself. And I think when you get a little bit older, you understand yourself a lot better than when you're younger.
Absolutely.
You're not so kind to yourself when you're younger. We've all been there, Eric. It's
bounce back a lot easier when you're 22, as you mentioned a minute ago. I'm 38 now, and I look back, I go, I wouldn't have been able to do that now.